The brain is such a weird thing. Psychology is such a weird thing. Competition is so woven into our being that there are literal physiological pathways outside of our normal conscious control pathways that get activated when you know there's a competition. The sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. But when you hit fight, you can do superhuman things. Like there's one, I don't know if you know, Eddie the Beast Hall. You know Eddie Hall?
Yeah.
So he was the first to lift 500 kilograms in a deadlift. You know
really?
This? You know?
I know who Eddie Hall is, but I didn't know that he did that.
The first to lift 500 kilograms in a deadlift. And if you've ever done any weightlifting, you know that 500 kilograms in a deadlift is stupid.
It's more than half a ton.
It's more than half a ton. It's half a metric ton. It is so much weight. And he did this like 5 years ago, right? So there's already, look at this. There's already someone that was like, Thor better. Literally, just 2 words. I'm not saying anything about it, but the rivalry is already there. That is hilarious because that is a rivalry that the sideline people are still, Thor better. He lifted 501 kilograms.
Yeah.
I don't care either way. I'm talking about this because I'm talking about the mindset of tapping into something that you didn't realize was there. He basically had done so much training. The previous record was like 467 kilograms.
Wow.
Lifted, which is still an ungodly, that was the world record, probably set by him before that. And then he just was like, I'm going to lift 500K this one day. This is how impossible this feat was because the previous record was, 33 kilograms less. Oh, only like 70 pounds, 75 pounds less at that time. Oh, casual 75 pounds. So just throw that on. It ain't nothing more. He basically ripped this off the ground with pure adrenaline by putting himself in a mindset where he felt like he had to kill to save a life. That was the only thing. It's the mom strength. It's ripping a car off the ground off your child.
Where you actually physically damage yourself to a pretty significant degree. Like lifting in general is damaging if you're doing it to gain muscle mass and stuff like that. Yeah. This is something where you're like really damaging.
Yeah, because your muscles are stronger than your brain will allow them to contract. But when you tap into things like competition or like these fight or flight moments or adrenaline, you push past your limit in a very literal way. Your muscles will tear. They can tear your ligaments. Your muscles can activate stronger than you think. It's that you have stoplights. You have speed limits in your brain set up.
To protect yourself.
To protect yourself.
It's that self-preservation.
It is. But competition, I'm pretty sure, taps into a little bit of that. You get a little more adrenaline. You get a little more performance. So you are like, I am willing to hurt myself if I could beat this piece of shit in front of me. Like, that is what it's all about. Also, Eddie Hall almost died doing that lift. He gave himself a concussion from the blood pressure of him squeezing so hard. He literally did it. He went, yeah, he put it down and then he went, like he just collapsed because the amount of squeezing pushed so much blood. You saw his eyes. You saw his eyes turn blue because the sheer fluid pressure pushed forward on his eyes. That's how much his head squeezed.
Blood vessels were popping.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's lucky he didn't have an aneurysm.
Yep.
Like it's terrifying. Yes, absolutely. That is what you tap into. With competition, you don't do that fully, but I imagine some sports injuries do occur because of that.
Yes.
But you tap into it a little more. That competitive, getting that adrenaline going is part of what makes it so much more for people to do what they can do.